What's happening, everybody? Welcome back. This is Fogo, and I want to address some of the criticisms that I got in the last video, and I do believe they are healthy criticisms, and I do agree with what many of you did say in those comments. So in yesterday's video, guys, whenever I was talking about the Special Support Battle Pass, I was saying that this deal here was $5. Now, I did put it in text in there that I said it was actually 20 American dollars, and all the rhetoric that I was spewing out in that last video was in regards of thinking that this was actually $5. And I thought, well, that's a really good deal. $5 for this is a really good deal. 2,000 rubies, you get Kusanagi, you get 2 Kusanagis, you get a 3 PG. That's pretty damn good, right? But $20 for this, honestly, guys, is very steep. It's actually a pretty pricey value. And the thing is, like, well, really not even a value, but it's just pretty pricey. And, you know, Kusanagi is a really good character with a 60% increase of attack from his first skill, with the increased target damage received every time you tag out for 10 seconds. He's a really, really great support, right? But today I want to put things in perspective and try to make up for that last video. And one of the criticisms I got was, you know, the fact that I was putting up that text in there, letting you guys know that I was wrong, that, you know, this was actually $20 and that the other one was actually $65 instead of $50, as we'll talk about in a little bit. And I think that's a fair criticism, guys. You know, like, I think in the future, what I'm going to do for now, and especially when it comes to these money issues, is make sure that I do have the exchange rate right. This is Vietnamese currency, and I do understand Vietnamese currency, but, you know, for some goofy reason, I was thinking this is $5 because that's what it's always been before. But I didn't take into account that because of the Google Play increases, that netball was actually increased, how much we have to pay for these packs. And, you know, like, whether or not, guys, this is actually worth it, 20 bucks for this is pretty steep in all honesty, because, you know, Kusanagi is an SS character, right? You can level up an SS character pretty freely. Now, if you're trying to get the character to A5 and he's one of your favorites, then that goes without saying. If you're willing to spend money for one of your favorites, that's a completely different thing. But if he's not your favorite and you're looking at, you know, for meta purposes, or you're trying to increase your scores in Guild Raid or Colossal Dungeon, those are going to be the two big game modes where you can actually increase your damage. However, to put things in perspective, guys, is it really important to have these extra buffs? And honestly, the same thing could be said for Athena. The same thing could be said for her. Do you really need her? Because this pack originally I thought was $50. And I thought, well, for $50, it's not too bad, right? But for $65, I mean, $15 increase is, you know, it's pretty pricey. And then on top of that, guys, like, everybody that lives in the world, we all live in different regions. You know, these prices can be pretty astronomical in some regions of the world. So definitely for those players, they're going to look at this and be like, hell no, there's no way in hell I would buy that. And I don't blame you guys. I don't blame you at all. But I want to put things in perspective, okay? Both of these characters are insane support characters. However, Athena is a whole lot better, right? Because she's an EX character. You can use a lot of these EX card sets on her. She has 100% attack buff. She has extra penetration on her second skill. She is actually quite nutty as a support, on top of having the 50% increase of EX fighter attack and the 35% critical damage leadership, right? I mean, obviously, if you have Iori, you're not going to really need it, but Iori doesn't give these 100% attack buffs. And with Athena on the team, like with Iori, for example, you're still going to do really, really well. She is insane. You know, personally for me, guys, my goal is to try to A5 Athena. I just want to get her to A5, right? To see if I could get those extra buffs really for the content. But I realize many of you out there are not content creators. You're not really going to care about this. Buffs are only going to really matter, guys. Like, characters like this are only going to really matter in Guild Raid if you're trying to push high scores. But the thing that's always played Kofus is the fact that you only need 1.25 billion in this. The thing that's always played in Guild Boss Challenge is that, you know, these boxes, right? These, you know, 200 and 300,000 boxes are, you know, I mean, guys, look, they're not that great. These cards here are really the best thing for transcending. I have thousands of these gold hammers and things from just doing all of my dailies, guys, even from the rush dungeons. It just isn't a big deal, right? So, you know, if you're willing to spend money on those packs, right, in the KOF pass for them, you're doing it mainly only because they're your favorite, or because you're trying to push, you know, for whatever reason you're trying to push Colossal Boss Dungeon, because Athena is freaking awesome here, guys, and Kusanagi is actually really helpful as well, and Guild Raid. Do you need to push them? No, you absolutely do not. There's nothing in the game that really requires you to push them. I will say Athena does have a bit of an advantage. Like say if you're trying to push Chapter of Fight, you got some card sets and you're trying to push Chapter of Fight. Yeah, she could be helpful in here because she's an EX fighter. She can benefit from those CP sets to help you push. But if you already have 3 characters that can already get the 201,000 CP in this game mode, then you don't really need her. Right? Unless she's your favorite. You don't need her at all. You don't need her for any of this stuff, right? And you don't really need Kusanagi. That's kind of the thing about buffing characters. It's really Guild Raid and Colossal Boss Dungeon is where you actually need buffing characters. Personally, guys, I would like to do a little bit better. And I would like to have A5 Athena, really just more for the content for me. But I also want to touch on the shop here. In this shop, guys, you know, I thought this pack here was $5. And I thought, wow, this is awesome. You know, $5 for this? Yeah, that's pretty good. But $20 for this? $20 is a totally different story. I mean, yeah, you can get an event fighter, right? You can get one of those 4 fighters that they have in there. Or you could get, you know, Athena Mimer. But it's all by chance. It's all by chance, right? If it was a guarantee and you could actually get them, it'd be a different world, right? It'd be a completely different world, but it isn't. And honestly, knowing that this is $20 makes me very skeptical and just, you know, like these 10 cards here for Transcending are really nice, but it's really pricey, guys. And you can see I haven't bought any of these things yet. I'm actually still debating on whether or not I really want to be perfectly honest. But I do want an A5 Athena, right? I really do. And this pack here, I mean, I've talked about it, guys. I don't really personally think it's worth buying unless you're trying to get the most CP out of Athena because you're actually going to get these stars. And so I do want to apologize to all of you guys out there if I just misled any of you, if any of you misunderstood what I was trying to say or my point that I was trying to get across, because all the rhetoric that I was saying in that last video was me thinking that this was a $5 pack, was me thinking that this battle pass was actually, you know, a $50 pack instead of a $65 pack. And, you know, whenever, you know, you think those things are going on, whenever you think that the packs are that much cheaper, then they look a whole lot more appealing, right? And the mistake that I made in yesterday's video is that I posted the video after I knew that I was wrong about the prices that I was telling you guys. Now, to be perfectly fair to myself, anybody can go in there and look in the shop and look at these prices in their own currency, and they know exactly how much it is, right? Everybody knows exactly how much it is. And most people know whether or not they really want to buy these things or not. The job that I have is present you how valuable are these characters? Are they really going to be worth it for you? That's really my job, is to provide insight on them, right? Athena, guys, again, and Kusanagi, both these characters are really awesome if you're trying to push Guild Raid or Guild Boss Challenge. But like I said earlier, Guild Raid, you only need 1.25 billion. You don't get any better rewards. However, something that you should keep in mind is that, you know, there may be a reason they're giving us these characters right now. Well, not giving us them, but putting these characters in here because you might need these buffs in case they actually give us better rewards in a future Guild Raid. We just don't know, right? We just have no idea what they're actually going to do. That's the name of gotcha, right? We're always kind of like, well, should we do this? Should we not? But I was actually thinking about buying all these packs, but I mean, $65 for this, $20 for the other two. I mean, that's $105 in my currency. And for some of you out there in your currency, it's going to be even more, right? Your exchange rate is going to be much, much worse. But another thing that I want to put in perspective, guys, as far as whether or not these are worth it or not, is for the $65 pack, guys, you're going to get 2 EX characters. You're going to get Athena twice. You're going to get her 3 stones. And whenever you pull in a banner, guys, it takes 18,000 rubies to go to the pity. 18,000. To get 3 stones, you have to A3 a character. Now, how many of you out there are able to A3 a character in 1 pity? How many of you can actually do that? How many of you has that actually happened to? For me, that rarely happens because you would have to get the character 3 times before the pity, before getting the selector. 3 times, right? You have to A3 them in order to get all 3 of these stones. So if you put value on these stones, and this last stone is good because it increases blast skill for EX fighters, then it probably would be worth it because I mean, if you look at the packs that we paid for in the past, guys, of those of us that have paid for, like, you know, whenever you buy one of those packs where you can get, you know, 8 multis and they're like $80, guys. That's only 8 multis, right? Even buying 2 of those packs won't give you enough multis to go to the pity. It won't even give you enough multis to go to the pity, right? So that's like $160. So whenever I look at it from that perspective, right, the fact that you are getting 2 EX fighters, well, an EX memory for Athena, and then you're also getting Athena. If you already have her, then this is going to be a memory. If not, you're going to get the fighter, and then you're going to get these 3 stones. You're going to get, Kusanagi, right? You get Kusanagi as well. Or I'm sorry, you get 3 PGs, right? I mean, it's not that bad, right? I know it's more expensive than what it used to be, and I know that sucks, but considering what you're getting, considering how much of an investment you would have to put into a banner if this character was in there, and the fact that you're guaranteed to get her, and you're guaranteed to get these 3 stones who you can use on any EX fighter, it might be worth it. But again, both of these characters are only going to be supports for the most part. Guild Raid and Guild Boss Challenge. So if you don't care about those 2 game modes and you don't care about getting these stones for future characters, then I wouldn't do it. I would not buy this. And like I said earlier, you can see, guys, that I haven't bought them. I'm honestly kind of like this on these packs now that I actually know how much all of these things actually cost. And in the future, whenever I do these videos about, packs or buying anything, I will make sure that I know the exact rate of everything before I give you guys all my insight on it, because that really does skew my opinion, right? Whenever you think this is $5 for this, I mean, it looks pretty damn good. When you think this is $50, it looks pretty damn good, right? But when you know this is $20 and you know this is $65, then it looks pretty freaking sketchy, right? Even for me with American currency. But again, I do apologize if I did mislead anybody in that last video. That was not my intention at all. And that's why, I did put that text up there. But next time, I just won't rush the video out, guys. If I don't have enough time in the day to be able to put out the quality video that you guys deserve, then I just won't post the video and I'll just wait till the next day or later that day to do it. So guys, let me know how you're all feeling about the KOF passes, especially now that we got everything all figured out. Let me know if you think it's worth it to push Guild Boss Challenge and Guild Raid, if you think those supports are actually worth investing in. And also keep in mind that they may be useful for future game modes that maybe actually will have relevant rewards for all of us to collect. And I do stream on Twitch at 9 p.m. DD+7 time. The link is in the description below. And I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching. Y'all take care and have a good one. See you, everybody. Take care.